Good evening, baseball fans. How you doing? We're going to talk about some possible breakout players for this coming year. Let's get to it. I'm going to start off with an easy one, but to me, this is a guy, he still counts as a possible breakout player because, well, he hasn't fully broken out yet. He hasn't really fully gotten to that level yet. And I know there might be a little bit of fatigue with this one, but hey, he still counts, at least in my eyes, and that's Luis Robert. I'm going to start off with him because he is kind of an easy one, but still, in my eyes, I still see him as a breakout candidate because he hasn't fully done it yet. So let's share the screen. Also, let's put on some music, shall we? Let's put on some music. All right, here we go. So yeah, Luis Robert. Michael Foster, what's going on? How are we doing? Also, everyone, listen, I know I'm going to be leaving some people off. I know. I just went with 10 guys that, to me, I've been kind of looking at these guys for a little while. I guarantee you I'm leaving someone off of this list. So, please, in the comments after this stream is done tonight, go back to the comments and comment some guys. You know, who are some other guys that we should take a look out for? Listen, maybe I know a few, but hey, you guys are baseball fans too. Let me know. Am I missing someone? Is there someone that I should be keeping my eye on? I got a potato brain over here. I can't keep track of all these guys. But definitely let me know in the comments after the stream is posted about potential breakout players. But again, I will start off with Luis Robert. If you take a look at he had really good numbers last year. But, well, actually, that's not, here we go. 2021, he only played 68 games last year. He was getting hurt a lot. So that's where, to me, he hasn't even played, full half season yet. So I think we gotta get to that point before we can really announce that he has arrived. So the numbers last year looked really good. 13 homers, 43 RBIs. He hit 338, a 378 on base, a 567 slugging, a 157 WRC plus. Who knows what this year could be, but I think he has the potential to be a top 5 player in the game this year. I really feel like he can get to that level. Take a look at the advanced numbers from last year as well. I mean, a lot of reds here. Max exit velocity ranked in the top 10%. Now, the average exit velocity and the hard hit percentage were a little more in the middle. So that just tells me that he is still capable of squaring up on the ball even more. As you can see here, barrel percentage was at around 64%. So there's definitely room for improvement to get more barrels on the ball. He's not quite there yet. He's very good, but I think there is a lot more room to improve. Also, he does not walk a lot. He doesn't strike out a lot, but he doesn't walk a lot either. He does chase a lot, though. So there are some things that Luis Robert can improve on, but I think he has the potential to be a top 5, at least a top 10 player this year. So I don't feel like he has fully broken out yet, just because there are some things that he can work on, and there are more games to be played for him. Last year, playing under 70 games, so he's got to get into this. He's got to get more playing time in there. So let's move on here. Let's move on. Jacob Toon, what is going on, my friend? How are we doing? Hey, let's Emiliano. I keep saying Emilio. Emiliano had the super chat earlier. Don't sleep on my boy Andrew Vaughn. It just so happens that Andrew Vaughn is up next. Andrew Vaughn, while the stat line didn't look quite amazing last year, if you look at Andrew Vaughn and some of these advanced numbers, oh my, they actually looked really good. Let's take a look at the surface numbers first. And also, I will be paying attention to my Red Sox. It's funny. It's funny. Let me actually put up the Red Sox here. I went to go turn on the game. Like I said, I just got home under an hour ago. And I went to turn on the game, and I realized I don't have ESPN. I have cable, but I don't have ESPN on my thing. So I gotta, as much as I don't like ESPN, I'm not a fan of ESPN at all. I just don't like the way they've gone about just talking about things that are just not sports. It's just not for me. But I think that's why I didn't have ESPN, because I was like, no, I'm tired of these guys. It was also the off season, but now that it's in season, we got Sunday Night Baseball. I think I have to get ESPN again. So unfortunately, that is also another thing, Frank Ryan. I also would be interested in Sunday Night Baseball because they just have a better set of broadcasters. Like, it's just been painful listening to what they have in the last few years. I didn't mind A-Rod all that much. They were, because Alex Rodriguez, at the end of the day, is one of the greatest players of all time. I mean, I'll always listen to Alex Rodriguez, but it's just these other guys like Matt Vasgersian and just all these other guys that have been in there. So I am interested in the guys that they have now. So I got to get ESPN back on the TV. But taking a look here, but yeah, I don't have ESPN, so I can't watch the game. I've been keeping track of it on game day. So my Red Sox 4-3 lead right now, but the Yankees got to run around. Let me actually pull up game day. But anyway, back to the list. Andrew Vaughn. Taking a look here. Look at all these Reds. Look at all these Reds that he had. Oh, wait, that's from last year. Hold on, I'm looking at the wrong thing. He's off to a good start. But there were some things in 2021 that did look pretty good. But let's actually go here to last year's numbers. But 2021, he hit 235. He had a 309 on base. The slugging was really low, though, at 396. But he did have the 15 homers and the 48 RBIs. If we take a look at the splits, man, I hate that they don't have the 2021 numbers. He was better against lefties, so at least batting average wise, if we actually take a look at the advanced numbers, and the WRC plus, so he was better against lefties last year. So hopefully he can get it going against some right-handed pitching. But Andrew Vaughn, there were some things to like last year. Actually, let's pull up StatCast on here. Here we go. So StatCast 2021. So as you can see here, his batting average was a little higher at 242. His expected slugging was a little higher at 242. And if you take a look at his on-base percentage, well, his WOBA, his weighted on base, was 306. And his on-base last year was a 309. But his xWOBA was a 330. So his numbers last year were looking, the expected numbers at least, were looking better. And if you take a look here at his max exit velocity, he was ranked near the top. He was 100, or his highest exit velocity last year was 115 miles an hour. If this guy can just kind of get a little more locked in, right, make more consistent, better contact, get more barrels on the ball, man, oh man. I mean, the average exit velocity, not bad last year at 91.1. And, but the max exit velocity, that was the top 6% of the league. So the guy, he's got some juicy power in there. So really keep an eye out for Andrew Vaughn. So far this year, it's only a couple of games here, but he is killing it through 2 games. Already got a home run. So he's doing pretty well so far into this young season. So we'll have to keep an eye out for Andrew Vaughn. 2 hits out of 5 plate appearances so far. So I like Andrew Vaughn for this year. I do think he is going to be a good player this year. I feel like he's going to grab the bull by the horns in terms of having a starting role, being in that lineup every day. I feel like we're still going to see a lot of Gavin Sheets, but I think Andrew Vaughn ends up becoming a really, really decent player this year. So there were some good signs from last year. Let's take a look here at our next guy. This one we did see a lot of last year, but I feel like he did not quite break out. I feel like there were a lot of good things that we saw, but I feel like this year we're going to really see a good season out of him. Already got off to a good start, and that is Mr. Logan Gilbert. Logan Gilbert, taking a look. Again, he did pitch a lot last year. He pitched in 24 games last year, but if you take a look, The earned run average last year was a 4.68, but he had a FIP of 3.73. He had good strikeout numbers, good walk numbers, good home run numbers. You know, he looked pretty good. So to me, I don't think he really broke out last year. I feel like he had a good rookie season. I don't think it was like an amazing season by any means. So I feel like this year, I think he's going to be a fast learner, and I think he's going to end up being really good. If we take a look at some of the numbers from last year, the exit velocity was at 90 miles an hour. That definitely could come down, but it's not bad for a rookie season. Overall, he had some pretty just good numbers last year. But the big thing I'm looking at with him was the FIP, a 3.73 FIP. I really like that a lot. So considering his ERA was almost a full run higher. So I definitely think Logan Gilbert can be like a 4-win kind of a guy this year. So a 2.2 wins above replacement. I don't think that's necessarily a breakout year by any means, but I think he even takes a step forward this year. I think Logan Gilbert ends up being really good. If we take a look at some of the other numbers from last year, also taking a look, the expected on-base percentage looked really good last year. The walk percentage, it ranked near the top last year. Fantastic. His fastball velocity was right near the top 20% of the league. So if we also take a look at where are they here? He had a 4-seamer last year that had a negative 19 run value. That's a very good number right there. And then taking a look at some of the movement on his pitches, his 4-seamer definitely had some life to it. And then taking a look here, the changeup had some decent horizontal movement. The slider had some decent horizontal movement. The curveball had some okay vertical movement. Definitely could get better. But, oh wait, no, that's 2022. I'm looking at the wrong numbers. Sorry. These are throwing me off completely. Sorry, 2021, changeup had 2.5 inches of vertical movement. So that looked good last year. 4-seamer definitely looked good last year. That was his best pitch. That was one of the best pitches in the game last year. He had one of the best fastballs in the game last year. So he kind of showed a little bit of everything last year. The raw stuff, it looked pretty good. Some of the expected numbers looked pretty good. Some of his pitches already look pretty good. So the sky is the limit to me for Logan Gilbert. I feel like he's only going to keep improving. And I definitely could see him getting at least a 4 on the Fangraphs WAR this year. Let me know what you think of Logan Gilbert. So, Miguel, is Logan Gilbert good enough to get Stephen Kwan to swing and miss? I don't know, man. I don't know. That might be tough, man. Is Stephen Kwan going to make this? Well, okay, he was already on the thumbnail, so yeah, he's going to be on this list. But where will Stephen Kwan be on this list? We'll have to wait and see. But taking a look, we got a couple of pictures coming up here. A couple of pictures. Let's talk about Art Warren. Art Warren on the Cincinnati Reds. Let's take a look here. Art Warren last year had some pretty good numbers. Had some pretty good numbers last year. Taking a look. And he actually just got the save today. But let's take a look at his 2021 numbers. This guy had really good numbers last year. I mean, 2019, that was when he first appeared, but he was only in 6 games. And then didn't pitch in 2020. 2021, last year, he had 15 games, or that was in AAA. In 15 games in AAA, his ERA was actually really high, but his FIP was really low at 1.36. His strikeout numbers were off the charts. His walks were pretty good, too. He wasn't giving up any home runs. But take a look at what he did last year in the major leagues. Decently small sample size, 26 games, 21 innings. This guy had 14 and a half strikeouts, under half a home run per 9, a 1.29 ERA, a 1.84 FIP. Those are really good numbers. Pulling up his baseball savant, his slider last year, very good, -9 run value. Taking a look at some expected numbers. Where are they? Here we go. So looking here, he was not giving up like any hard hit balls. 85.8 mile per hour average exit velocity. Are you kidding me? That's really low. So He was hard to, he's a 2-pitch guy, a lot of slider, 4-seamer. But don't be surprised if Art Warren becomes a pretty dominant closer this year. He's got good velocity, good slider. I mean, actually, let's take a look at some of the movement that he was getting last year. I don't know if it's going to... He didn't pitch a lot last year, so I don't know if it's really going to show a lot. But his slider, taking a look here, he had 1.1 inches of horizontal movement compared to the average, so that's pretty good. But also his slider had a 2.9 inches of vertical movement compared to the average slider. So slider looked pretty good last year. He's got tons of velocity. So I'm really looking out for Art Warren this year. So there's another one. There is another one. Mr. It just so happens to go by the same exact last name. I actually don't know if there's any relation here. Hold on one second. Let me pull up the numbers. 1 second here. 1 second. I forgot to open up his numbers. Here we go. And so it's not Art Warren. It is Austin Warren. Austin Warren on the Angels. Hey, we were talking about this offseason how the Angels bullpen is starting to look pretty good. You know, they made a few key additions. Ryan Tepera, Archie Bradley, Aaron Loop. Really like those additions, but don't forget about Mr. Austin Warren. Austin Warren, well, some of the advanced numbers on Baseball Savant, some of them didn't look all that great, but there were some that looked pretty decent. But take a look at these numbers that he had last year. So last year, again, kind of like Art Warren, very small sample size, 16 games last year. But hey, a 2.09 FIP, 1.77 ERA. You know, not a lot of strikeouts, around 9 strikeouts per 9. Hey, 2 walks per 9. I don't think he's going to be a dominant closer by any means, but could he end up being a really solid setup guy for the Angels? A guy that ends up just giving you a lot of innings, like 60, 70 innings, just being a really solid bullpen guy for the Angels. As of right now, he is listed in middle relief. So, I mean, you got Ryan Tepera and Mayers right now in the setup roles, and then you got Aaron Loop and Bradley. But I feel like Warren is a guy that could end up being really good. Just being just a solid guy, help you get through like those 5th and 6th innings if that's what you needed. But, there were some nice numbers with him last year. And taking a look at his Baseball Savant, last year, only giving up 88 miles an hour in exit velocity, which is not bad at all. Not a lot of barrels last year, 5.2%. That was under the major league average of 6.6. So the X slugging was low. The X batting average was low. So, yeah, man. I think Austin Warren could end up being a pretty decent guy out of the Angels bullpen. So, Art Warren, I think, has more of the potential to be like that dominant closer. But Austin Warren, I feel like, could be that really solid middle reliever. So, taking a look here at our next guy. So, we've already gone through 5 guys already. We're moving through this one pretty quick. Hey, the Marlins, they really needed some offense last year. Really needed some offense. And but they already had a guy that was already showing some pretty decent potential. Let me pull up the numbers here. But that guy that they already had, Jesus Sanchez. Jesus Sanchez, man, he was looking pretty good last year. Let me pull up the numbers here. Oh, crap. I just clicked out of it. Hold on. Jesus Sanchez. There we go. That's better. Hold on. Almost there. Okay. Here we go. So, Jesus Sanchez. So, one of the young outfielders for the Miami Marlins. He's actually got some pretty good projections this year on Fangraphs. Taking a look here. They're projecting him for 25 home runs this year. Not a great WRC plus. You got to remember with projections, they always go more conservative. So, while they're saying a 106 WRC plus, that's not all that great. I definitely think he can get more than that. They're projecting a 313 on base. I mean, I think he is someone that can get more than that. Look at the raw power potential. He has a 70 raw power. So this is a guy, man. He can really get into some. So 2020, he played a little bit, but last year, this is where he played the most. In 37 games in AAA, he hit 348, a 406 on base, and a 652 slugging, 10 home runs. But then he came up to the majors in 64 games. He had 14 home runs last year. He had a 489 slugging. That is just really good. Taking a look at StatCast. Last year, hey, exit velocity, the average exit velocity was in the 90s. You know, he was getting a good amount of barrels, 12.7% barrel percentage. You know, Jesus Sanchez, man. Also, he was in the top 9% in max exit velocity. So, taking a look here, his expected slugging was 482. And then last year, what was his slugging last year? His slugging last year, actually, so his expected slugging was right around the same. What was his ex-WOBA last year? It was StatCast. Where'd you go? There's StatCast. So his ex-WOBA was 337. So that's definitely higher than what it was. So I think Jesus Sanchez, man, that he's a real power threat. And I think that's something, man, if they can get 25 home runs out of this guy, that's really going to help. The Marlins, they need as much offense as they can. Yes, they did improve with the offense this offseason, adding guys like Garcia, Soler, Wendell, Stallings. Those are nice guys, but would be nice if one of their young guys like Sanchez could really break out. So I'm going to be on the lookout for Jesus Sanchez. Alrighty. We are down to our last three. We're down to our final three. All hitters. So there weren't a lot of, there were a lot of pictures, but to me, a lot of these hitters really liking these bats. I'm really liking these bats. There were a couple of pictures I decided to leave off because these bats are just that good. They're that good, man. So taking a look here, Connor Joe, man. This is a guy I feel like not a lot of people are aware of on the Colorado Rockies. He had himself a pretty good season last year. He did play a decent amount last year. Taking a look at Connor Joe's numbers. Connor Joe, look at these numbers that he had, man. In 63 games, he hit 285, a 379 on base, a 469 slugging, 8 home runs, a 116 WRC plus. That's not that bad at all. That is not too shabby, if you ask me. And Connor Joe, last year, the exit velocity does need to come up a little bit. He had a decent barrel percentage of 9.9%, but hey, you know what? Young guy, or he's not young, but he could definitely still add some more strength. So he's a late bloomer, if that's what you want to call it. So there are some good things about him where I think, especially in Coors Field, he can definitely thrive. Super chat coming in. JM1231, so glad that you added Gilbert. Absolutely. I'm a big Logan Gilbert fan. I think he's going to be really good. Noah55, I actually had Nate Lowe on my breakout players for last year. So I decided to leave him off because, I already used him last year. So I think Luis Robert I did have last year as well. But did I have Luis Robert last year? I can't remember. So anyway, but Connor Joe, man, really good numbers last year. Good batting average last year. Good numbers in the minor leagues as well. So I think this is a kind of a bat that can definitely thrive in Coors Field. I mean, look, the on-base percentage speaks for itself. 379 on base last year. If you're already good at getting on base, you can keep working on those other things. I think Connor Joe is going to end up being a really solid player. He is a late bloomer. So he didn't make it to the major leagues until 2019. He was 26 years old then 2020 happened. And then we didn't really see him until last year. So at 28 years old. So a bit of a late bloomer. He's almost 30. So, but I really like Connor Joe. I love the on-base numbers with him. And I think for the Rockies, a bat like him is only going to help. So coming in next, we got two more guys. This is a guy I've been kind of raving about lately, especially in my season previews. Alejandro Kirk. Alejandro Kirk last year, Not amazing numbers when you look at just the stat line. Like, they look okay, but oh my. This guy had some really good expected numbers last year. Taking a look here. Where are we at? Here, let's go to StatCast. So, taking a look. Alejandro Kirk last year. The one thing I want to point out, starting off with the expected batting average. He had a 288 expected batting average compared to his 242 batting average. The expected slugging was 515 compared to his actual slugging of 436. His ex-WOBA was 377 compared to his WOBA of 330, and he had an on base last year of 328. So the fact that he had an expected weighted on base average of 377, dude, everyone's talking about all these other players on the Blue Jays, but I really think a lot of people are just like not even looking at Alejandro Kirk. This guy was really good last year. I mean, the exit velocity was really good, 92.3 on average last year. Max exit velocity was decent, 109.4. All of the expected numbers looked pretty good. He walked 10% of the time. You know, I mean, really good expected numbers. You know, obviously there's a lot of other guys in this lineup, but I mean, obviously when you got, you know, guys like Bo Bichette and Vlad Jr. and George Springer and Teoscar Hernandez and Chapman and Gary Out Jr., you know, even a name like Kevin Biggio, I'm just saying, you know, it's easy to maybe forget about Alejandro Kirk a little bit, but he's, you know, hey, so far he's off to a decent start, 286 average through 2 games. So I think he's going to end up being really good this year. And the projections like him as well. 265 average, a 341 on base, 468 slugging, 16 homers, a 117 WRC plus. And again, those are conservative numbers. So don't sleep on Alejandro Kirk. I think he's going to be really good. So let's just get to the king. I've been saying this for a little while now. And you know, also Foolish Baseball. He was kind of the one to kind of get it going a little bit. But I saw this with, you know, I looked at the numbers and I'm like, oh wow, this guy's gonna be really good. You know, once I saw the minor league numbers, I mean, it was pretty much a done deal, because when a guy can get on base and a guy can just make contact, but also just draw walks, I mean, it's only, you know, downhill or uphill, whatever the saying is. But he's going to be really good. Stephen Kwan, he's off to a amazing start. What the heck is going on with this guy? Holy cow, Stephen Kwan. What in the heck is going on? Stephen Kwan is already looking like the next Barry Bonds, everyone. He's already looking like the next Barry Bonds. He's hitting 800 so far. Hold on, let me pull up the numbers here. Here we go. Hold on, let me pull up the numbers. I got to pull up his MLB.com page because none of these websites are updating his numbers. Hold on. There we go. Jesus, Baseball Reference. Fangraphs. You are killing me. You know, Fangraphs, they do amazing work over there, but I hate that they don't update the numbers as quickly as, you know, as like MLB.com. MLB.com, they got so many people working there, so it's like, you know, I can understand. But I do wish those Fangraphs numbers would update a little bit quicker. But Stephen Kwan, he's the 800 hitter. He's got 8 hits through 10 at-bats. What in the heck is going on so far? I'm not even basing this off of just that. This guy was already looking really good. I'm not even going to look at just these numbers. I already feel like I'm cheating a little bit by going over these players before or after the season has already started. You know, I really wanted to do this before the season, but I just didn't have time. Frank Ryan, $1.99 Super Chat. What's going on? I like Kirk, but I think Santiago Espino. Hey, he's a good one too. Look out for him, especially if someone gets hurt. I definitely think he can get some really good at-bats this year. He looked pretty good last year. Honestly, you could have made the case that he could have been their third baseman this year, but, you know, he ended up getting Matt Chapman. So, but taking a look at Steven Kwan, I mean, listen, the numbers, we just saw him a second ago. Yes, these numbers are outstanding. There has to be some kind of hit, like, record. Has to be. Right? There has to be like some kind of a 5 historic start. I thought I read somewhere that there was a bit of history. No one else has gotten off to the start that Steven Kwan has in their career. Literally no one. I don't want to play this video too much because MLB.com, they love to just do the copyright. Let's take one look at a Steven Kwan swing. I mean, he just looks really good, man. When he just swings, he can hit oppo. I mean, look at that ball. That was completely just like away from him. Just makes good contact. Bat just flies through the zone. Got a bit of a high leg kick. This is a guy, he's going to be a nightmare for just a lot of teams. And he's got a little bit of speed. Let's take a look at this one. And he can drive it too. Hey, look at it. He really got into this one. You know, Steven Kwan, man, he just went off today. But everyone, I've been saying this guy's name this whole offseason. Everyone, I've been saying it. You know, last year, AAA, 26 games. He had a 398 on base. He has not hit lower than 280 in his career. I mean, good grief. And that was in 2019. 2020, this guy did something to help him get better, because in AA last year, he hit 337 with a 411 on base and a 539 slugging over 51 games. And then he had a 398 on base. The on-base percentage is ridiculous. Theorpo, what do you think of the new Space City Astros jerseys? If you're an Astros fan, absolutely get those jerseys. That is a fantastic jersey. I'm going to have to do my rankings on the city jerseys again. I can't wait to do that. What is the city MLB city jersey schedule for 2022? I still think, honestly, I feel like the Marlins are still like the king. I think I liked the Marlins, or the Marlins or the White Sox. I liked those the most last year. Here we go. Also, I am really excited. I haven't gotten myself a new hat in a little while, but I'm really excited because Lids, they're coming out with some like big league chew style hats, and I'm really excited to see what they're going to look like. But taking a look here so what is this here? Oh, I didn't even notice these. These are some logos for this year. All-Star Game. I forgot the All-Star Game was at Dodger Stadium this year. Huh. I want to see the city jerseys. What is this? Do they have the city jerseys? Or not? I know they haven't released them yet, but do they have the schedule on here? I love that the Mets brought back the black jersey. Good for them. Oh, look at Pittsburgh. Oh, a little retro jersey, huh? Little Negro League. Is that Negro League? Yeah, it's Negro League. So, do they have the schedule here for the? Oh yeah. I don't know. What did everyone think of these Nationals ones? I understand it. Like, I get it. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I can't get into them. I just can't. I don't know. But, love that patch. Love that patch, man. I don't know. I need a schedule of the city jerseys. Looking for something here. Here we go. So the Nationals, they already released. The Astros were released today. Yeah, I really like the Astros one. Where the heck is this? Here we go. So the Astros were today. Well, they're not going to release them until the 20th. Kansas. I'm excited for Kansas City's. I really am. I think Kansas City's they're going to look really good. I really am excited for Kansas City and the Rockies. And then you got the Angels. The Brewers should be a fun one. And then the Padres. Let's see what... I think I'm really excited. Really. I just wish all the teams would do it. Why can't all the teams come out with a city jersey? Well, I don't get it. So, Diekman's coming on to close. Let's actually take a look at the Red Sox right now. Well, I guess we got to stay until the end here. I'll stay until the end. But we got Alex Verdugo coming up. Or he just walked. Kevin Plawecki's coming up. But let me finish on Stephen Kwan. I mean, this guy's an on-base machine. I mean, he's been showing it in the minor leagues ever since the beginning. I mean, look at his on-base percentage in rookie ball. He had a 480 on-base in 13 games. That's nuts. And then in 2019, 353. You know, that was his first time really facing, like, better pitching. So, you know, and then he had 2020 off. So it sounds like he really benefited from, you know, whatever they were doing for the minor league camps and whatnot. So, but this guy's going to be really good. He was my rookie of the year pick. Stephen Kwan, Mr. 800. I'm really excited. He's going to be a pest, man. He is going to be a pest for teams for years. So, but, yeah. So, I'll keep it this open for a Q&A. I'll keep this. Actually, you know, I might not be able to stay too much longer. I got to get something done for work. Got to get something done by midnight. So I might not be able to hang out until the end of the game. I thought it was bottom of the ninth. But let me just take a look at the chat here for a little bit. What do we got? Ed's Cat. I'm just shocked that most people don't have him in the top 100 prospects. I feel like... Wasn't he in Fangraphs? He was a Guardians top prospect. I feel like he was in Fangraphs. I could be wrong. Yeah, he was number 57 on Fangraphs. So, MLB Pipeline didn't have him? I find that very, very odd. I feel like he would at least... Yeah, I'm trying to remember because we looked over the list. Wow. Yeah, Pipeline, they really messed up on that one. Yeah, he's number 57 on Fangraphs. So, Baseball America, actually. Hey, E-Rock TV, what's going on, my friend? How you doing? Let's go to... I think he was on Baseball America's, possibly. Let's take a look. He's got to be on Baseball America's. Maybe he wasn't. He does seem more like a Fangraph kind of a guy. You know, they really like those guys that can get on base. Let's see. Yeah, no. Kwan was not on Baseball America's either. So, I can see him being on Fangraphs. So, that's why you kind of have to look at everything. That's why I don't look at just one. Like, I look at Pipeline. I look at Baseball America. I look at Fangraphs. You know, it's always good to look at a few different options. Kevin, solid performance thus far by Jeremy Pena. A couple of extra base hits. Home run in 4 games. Solid defense. I've been saying that. If the Astros, if they ended up moving on from Carlos Correa, then, and you had Jeremy Pena. His power was coming on in the minor leagues. His bat was starting to look better. And I think he's going to end up being fine. Owen Gall, Cleveland Guardians hype. Kwan, first player to reach base that many times in their first 3 games. Yep. Dude is unreal. Reminds me of Michael Brantley. Yeah, he's going to be a pesky player. E-Rock TV. Yeah, I left Dylan Carlson off just because he played like a full season last year for the most part. I mean, Logan Gilbert played a lot last year, but I feel like there's just way more for Logan Gilbert. There is a lot more for Dylan Carlson too, I think. Frank Ryan, what do you think about the Whitlock extension? Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. In case anyone didn't see, the Red Sox, they Whitlocked Garrett Whitlock up to an extension. Hope you liked my pun. But yeah, 4-year deal for Garrett Whitlock. Oh, also, there was a rumor out here today. That it was about one of the guys that was on my list tonight. Red Sox extend Garrett Whitlock, 4-year deal, 18.75 over the 4 years. Honestly, I think Garrett Whitlock is one of those guys. He can possibly be your closer. He can be a starter. I would not be surprised if they tried having him start at some point. Maybe not this year, maybe next year. I don't know. I feel like he's kind of like that Swiss utility knife that you can you can use him wherever. You can have him open. You can have him come in like anywhere in the bullpen, any inning, But maybe they'll have him start. I don't know. Yeah, Chris Floor, Tristan McKenzie as well. That's what I've been saying, I really think the Guardians are going to be pretty good this year. I really do. And everyone was like laughing at me about it, saying like, oh, the Guardians, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, they got a lot of good players, I have them finishing with 91 wins this year. I don't have them making the playoffs, but I have them being a good team. So let's take a look at these standings, huh? I know they're very young at the moment, but let's see what's going on. Tampa Bay, 3-0 start. Yeah, Houston's looking pretty good so far. They were going off, man, on the Angels the other night. Texas is scoring a lot of runs, but they can't pitch. Exactly what we thought. And the Blue Jays have been, they looked really good today with the bats. Their pitching so far has looked awful. 23 runs allowed through 3 games. So the White Sox have actually been banged up with their pitching, but they've only given up 8 runs. So, but yeah, Toronto, they're giving up a ton of runs through the first 3 games. And then, and who was the other team I was just saying? Oh yeah, the Angels and the Rangers. So, yeah, the top. Oh, what about Javier Baez? Man, what about Javier Baez this weekend trying to be aggressive and trying to go home? What the heck was that guy thinking? Good grief. What was it? Were they down by 3 runs? And he tried stealing, I think he tried stealing home, right? Or whatever on a wild pitch. It's like, well, you're down 3 runs. What are you doing? Why would you do that? Good grief, Javier Baez. What in the world are you doing? But, E-Rock TV, Steven Matz. Hey, how about the Cardinals, huh? My World Series pick. Looked pretty good against the Pirates, but Steven Matz today. Shaky first start, but it looked like the velocity was pretty good. I think I read somewhere that he was touching like 97 at one point. I mean, the Pirates were going tater-tot off this guy. 3 runs in the 5th. Jesus. Or 5 runs, or I said that backwards. 5 runs in the 3rd. But, yeah, Matz, he got hit around a little bit. Honestly, like, for some of these guys, I'm really going to wait, like, a couple more weeks. You got to remember, the season started, you know, in a weird way. You only had, what, 3.5 weeks of spring training or whatever it was, 4 weeks, where it should be 6. Some of these pictures, I don't think they're fully ready yet, you know, so I am going to give some of these pictures, or all of these pictures, honestly, you know, a little leeway, just because they didn't have a full spring training. So some of these guys are getting hurt, man. It's not good. It's not good, man. I would have rather, you know, the season started a couple weeks later, you know, and given these guys an actual full spring training. And everyone's saying like, oh, you know, we only need like a month. Oh, baloney. You need a full 6 weeks. You need a couple more weeks. You're seeing so many shoulder problems. You're seeing so many knee problems, like, or just whatever. Like, your general soreness. Like, these guys need longer spring trainings. Like, you can't just, you know, you can't just rush a spring training, man. Alrighty, well, I guess we got to wait for the bottom of the ninth. But I can't watch it on the TV because I don't have freaking ESPN. Let me check one more time. We got 113 people in the chat. What's going on, everyone? How are we doing? E-Rock TV, yeah, Cardinals do look pretty good with the offense. Like, how do I not have ESPN? Like, I would think that's like a normal channel that I would just have. So I got TNT, I got TBS, I got Fox. Can we just move the Sunday night game to Fox? Like, can we just do that? Just like football, like they have the Sunday night game. Why does ESPN have to have the Sunday night game? I hate ESPN. Ugh. Yeah, I don't got ESPN, so I can't watch it. Urias got rocked today, says Ryan. Yeah. Nothing is normal anymore, says Robert. Yeah. Grizz, man. Connor Joe, I like him. Yeah, I mean, the Rangers, man. They got some offense, but they can't pitch. Yeah, Miguel, I like Quantrill. I like Quantrill. Here we go. Can Diekman lock down our first win? Oh, man. Judge is 2 for 4 on the day. Or on the night. Oh, man. I got to tell you, everyone. I Ubered all day today. Man, oh, man. I am tired, man. As soon as we're done here tonight, I'm going to bed. I got to wake up in the morning. I got to go to the gym. ESPN Radio does have the Sunday night games. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll do that. I got to watch it, though, you know. I don't mind the radio. Like today when I was Ubering, I was listening to, you know, a couple of games. It's pretty cool that you can have the with MLB TV, you have the audio as well. I wasn't able to consistently listen to anything though, because I wasn't just doing Uber, I was doing Uber Eats too, so I had to keep getting out of the car sometimes, so I wasn't able to really just sit down and just listen. So, well, they are talking about the Rays on my TV on Spectrum News 13. So, at least I can listen about the Rays. Here we go. 2-2 count. Aaron Judge. Let's go, Diekman. Come on, lock it down, buddy. That's what I think with the Red Sox. Like, they didn't really have an idea of who their closer was going to be. I think they're just kind of waiting on who is going to emerge. You know, really just kind of feel it out. I could see Diekman being that guy. He's a strikeout guy. So if we actually go to the Red Sox here. You know, Barnes, you know, I see you, Robert, in the chat. Barnes, you know, he said out loud to a reporter like he wants to close their job. But the thing with Barnes, man, he is just, to me, he's a better setup guy. I don't know what it is. The guy, last year in the first half, he looked good, but it sounds like maybe the guy was using the sticky stuff a little bit. I don't know. He gets, in the second half, he was so bad. But I feel like Whitlock ends up being that guy, like an Andrew Miller kind of a guy. He can kind of just come out of in any inning. You know, he can come in the 5th or the 7th, or he can close. You know, I could see Diekman being definitely a guy for that 9th inning role, because he gets a lot of strikeouts. He walks guys, though. That's the only problem with him. So he does scare me with the walks and the strikeouts. He has walked 5 guys per 9. The lowest walks per 9 that he's had in his career was back in 2013 at a 3.76. So I don't know if I like him for the 9th inning, but he does strike guys out. So, ugh. I mean, the thing about Diekman, you know, he's lefty. You know, he's fastball slider guy. What does Baseball Savant think? Also, there was a rumor here today. Where is... It was about Andrew Vaughn. The Athletics interested in Andrew Vaughn. The White Sox were among the many teams showing interest in Sean Manaea and Frankie Montas. Manaea has been since dealt, reporting that the White Sox nearly landed Manaea instead, but are still hopeful on Montas. However, the A's want young slugger Andrew Vaughn back in return, and the Sox are balking. So, very interesting. Could you imagine that? We got a battle going on between Diekman and Judge, man. Fastballs and sliders galore. Well, let's pull up Diekman here. But yeah, Diekman, I do like the strikeouts. I feel like we didn't have a guy like that last year. You know, funny enough, he did not rank very high when it came to strikeout percentage. But he doesn't give up a lot of hard hit balls. You know, the X batting average and the X slugging look pretty good. He just gives up a lot of barrels. So he tends to leave stuff over the plate. And that's when he can get hurt. Oh my God, 10-pitch battle here between Diekman and Judge. Here we go. But the Red Sox, they're taking advantage today. Only 5 hits, but they've gotten 4 runs out of it, while the Yankees have 11 hits and only 3. For the Red Sox, you had Bobby Dahlback with a home run. And then J.D. Martinez had a double. But Aruz had an RBI. Arroyo had an RBI. Dahlback with an RBI. And J.D. Martinez. And Aaron Judge strikes out. There is the first out. First out for the Red Sox. That's what I'm talking about, Diekman. Ooh, Stanton, though. I'm a little worried about Stanton, man. I'm not going to lie. Are they changing him? Oh, I'm not surprised about that. This is not surprising, man. Oh, wait, no, they can't change him. Wait, no. Diekman replaced... Oh, I'm sorry. Diekman replaced Robles. Sorry. I thought I saw it the other way around. But Stanton's going to be... That's scary, man. Diekman against Stanton. Don't leave one over the plate. Man, I wish I could just watch this freaking game. I'm going to have to add ESPN back onto the cable. Because I have Spectrum, so I only have like a certain amount of channels that I can pick from, and then everything else is like local or whatever. Salty, do you think Buxton's going to have an MVP season? As the old saying goes, if he's healthy, then yeah, I definitely think so. Fran, free page. I'm not going to risk it. I don't want to get any copyright or whatever on the computer. Giancarlo Stanton, 2 strikes. Let's see if Diekman can get him. Hit a long at-bat with Judge. Grizz, could you imagine if the Yankees traded Aaron Judge? Could you imagine that? Could you, like, honestly, like, if the Yankees are out of it at that time, do you think they would do it? I mean, why wouldn't they? I'm only saying if they're out of it. Like, if they're kind of like floating around 500 and they're not quite there, you know, they're like 5 games out of a playoff spot. I wonder if they do. 1-0 count to Stanton. Oh, no, he struck out. Oh, my God, he struck out. Wow, he struck him out on how many pitches? 4 pitches. Okay, here we go. There we go. Joey Gallo, strikeout king. We got 2 outs here. Come on, Diekman, lock it down. Man, I hate not watching the game. Oh, I love this matchup, though. Love this matchup for Diekman. Watch. Gallo ends up going deep. Could you... Oh, I would lose my mind. Yeah, salty wings, man. Yeah, they have been. They've definitely seemed a little quicker this weekend. The opening day game, man, that one felt long, though. That one definitely felt long. How long did that first game go between the Red Sox and the Yankees? What was it like? It was a 4-hour game, right? Wow, they're... Oh, Joey Gallo strikes out swinging, and the Red Sox are on the win or on the board when it comes to wins. That's what I'm talking about. First win of the season for the Red Sox. Diekman comes in, strikes out the side, and the Red Sox have their first win of 2022, and they avoid the sweep. That's what I'm talking about. Are we going to see more of this from Diekman? Very possible. Striking out the side. He struck out Judge, Stan, and Gallo. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Definitely a battle against Judge there at the end. 11 pitches it took. But that's the final. The Red Sox avoid the sweep, and they get their first win of the season. The win goes to Cutter Crawford, and that guy was giving me a heart attack earlier. But Bobby Dahlback had the difference maker. Had the home run there in the 6th inning, and that ended up being the winning run. Bobby Dahlback, the hero. JD Martinez got it started for the Red Sox. Christian Arroyo had the sac fly to make it 2-zip. Giancarlo Stanton had a base knock to make it 2-1. Aruz made it 3-1, and then Anthony Rizzo, line drive, that scored 2, and then Bobby Dahlback with the homer. And that was it. Red Sox bullpen really came up big. Get a bit of a shaky start from Houck. He got into the 4th, but he started getting hit around. But that bullpen for the Red Sox, Brazier, Crawford was giving me some anxiety. He gave up 4 hits there, but he ended up being able to lock it down. Strom had the hold, Robles had the hold, and Diekman closes it out in the 9th. And the Red Sox have their first win of the season. Everyone, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go get some sleep. I'm exhausted. Like I said, I did Uber all day today. Just got home like 9 o'clock, and then I basically just got ready for a stream. So I'm going to get out of here, everyone. I want to thank you for coming out tonight. Again, if you are new, hit that subscribe button for me. Hit the like button on your way out. Hit the bell notification. Share the stream. Also, don't forget, we're partnered with PrizePicks. Use my code GINGER if you want to get a 100% deposit match for trying to win some money on PrizePicks. So, I'm going to get out of here, everyone. I will see you all tomorrow night. Don't forget, we're going to be talking about the upcoming week on Mondays. So be here tomorrow night. I'll see you all then. Have yourself a good night, everyone. I'll talk to you next time.